What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Like I said, it might have been right away. It might have been a week later because, I said it'd possibly be every other week based on the content right now. But we're back, like I promised, like we promised.
No worries.
A lot has happened.
Yes.
Last time we were here, we were chatting about NBA Finals, NHL,
rough vibes for South
playoffs.
Florida. South Florida is in shambles right now.
I was banned from South Florida, so all my picks have been just miraculously striping right now.
I feel bad for my Ocean Drive people. I was rooting for you. I was there with you. But, yeah, Denver, they won the NBA Finals last night, and tonight it's probably going to be Vegas closing out the Panthers. So if you're a Miami fan, if you're a South Florida fan, it's tough. It's tough. You have two teams right there, 4 wins away from the gold, and it looks like they're both going down hard. It's tough, man. It's tough. But, we're not from South Florida. We're not Miami fans. It was a rooting interest, right?
It was a rooting interest. I was shamed. I was shamed.
You were shamed.
After I said, Miami ain't making it that far. I don't believe in them in the playoffs. They make it all the way. And then when I was like, I'd rather... not that I was like, oh, they're definitely going to win. Just because I didn't want to see Denver win, only because that's boring. But I was revoked and rejected for any voting. So I said, give me Nuggets in 5, and they did in 5.
Incredible.
And then I picked Vegas because I was also banned from any South Florida chatter, but I didn't want them. More so, I did not want the Panthers to win anyway, so that's a different story. I didn't want them to win anyway. And like I said, Vegas in 5, maybe 6. They're probably going to close it out in 5 today. Oh, what a great time.
Still rooting for the Rats. We'll see. But let's talk about Denver's championship run here. It wasn't the most difficult teams in terms of the road to get there, but it felt so effortless for Jokic and Murray. I don't think this is a dynasty in the making because the past 5 NBA champs have all been a different team. If you go back, you have Toronto, Golden State, Milwaukee, Denver now, and then the last one is slipping my mind, but...
Warriors last year.
Right. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Oh, the Lakers. Lakers were the other team.
Oh, yeah.
So the NBA has had a lot of parity lately, a lot of excitement, I think, because you're getting a different team hoisting the Larry O every single season. I think that's good for the sport because for so long it was 2 teams in the NBA Finals, and now you're getting a different team every year. So I think that's really cool. But I don't think this is a dynasty in the making, but I just think this was a really, really good basketball team that was healthy, that was clicking, and that has a really good coach in Mike Malone, and honestly one of the greatest centers of all time already, without a doubt, in Nikola Jokic. It's just, it's like a 9 to 5 to him. He just shows up, balls out, goes home, and, just wants to sit back in his lazy chair and drink a beer. I mean, that's
Literally.
Just the vibes I get from Jokic. It's incredible. It's incredible. But Jamal Murray really stepped up. I really think he was the difference maker. He had that horrible ACL injury. Took a long time to get back. Now you're seeing the full Jamal Murray effect. And what else can be said? I mean, the dude shut me up. I was, a non-believer in this team for a long time. They won it all. I got to eat crow. Congrats to Denver. Congrats to Nikola Jokic. Congrats to Jamal Murray. Congrats to everyone except for the ex-Pistons, especially Bruce Brown. I will not show love to the ex-Pistons. They can nicely piss off.
There's a lot of interesting guys on that team. Like you said, Brown, who you don't like. You got Ish Smith, who's been around the league like crazy, getting a ring. You got Jeff Green, who I say is a fair person that he deserves it. Is DJ Augustine? Is DJ Augustine also on the?
I don't know about DJ Augustine. I know he didn't play, but I know Reggie Jackson's on the team, so that's another guy.
Oh yeah, Reggie, DeAndre Jordan, the first guy out of Lob City to get a ring, which is insane. I mean, you got a bunch of newcomers. You got KCP, who is getting his 2nd ring. Post Lakers, post the bubble. You got the young rookie, Christian Braun, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that insane? That guy. Arc.
No.
I know he didn't really do anything.
No, he
but,
he actually had an impact. It irritated me because I saw him last year on Kansas, and of course Kansas wins it all because they're cheaters. And
oh, get out of here!
They are. They're cheaters. They're like Man City. They cheated their way to that championship. That's just the facts. And Christian Brown was a part of it. And now he gets to, in his first season, he gets to hoist the Larry O. It's ridiculous. This guy. He just wins.
He won 3 state championships in a row in high school. Went to college. Won, boom, boom. Won a
annoying.
Ship, and then first year in the league. This man just.
I cannot stand it.
What about what's his name?
Did have an
was
impact.
it? It wasn't Patrick McCaw. It was somebody else who won 3 straight championships when they got into the league. Because he was with the Warriors, Cavs, and then Raptors.
Oh.
In 17, 18, 19. Trivia question of the day. Comment below. What NBA player won 3 straight championships with the Warriors, Cavs, and then Raptors?
It might have been Patrick McCaw.
I think it was.
Because you name dropped him, and I was like, I think that's it.
We are looking it up. Comment below what you think it is, or pause while Evan finds it.
Yeah, it was definitely this dude. I'm like almost positive. Or maybe it wasn't.
I didn't think it was. That name rang a bell, but I was like, I think it's someone like him.
It had to have been him because he was with Golden State in 2016 and through 2018. Then with Toronto in 2018, 2019. Then with Cleveland 2018, 2019. Then Toronto again 2018 to 2021. But Cleveland didn't win in 2018, 2019.
No, they won in 16.
So I think I don't know.
I think he won in 15, 16. Oh, it might not have been 3 straight, but he did win 3. I think he won back to back. He won Warriors.
Won with Golden State and then he won with Toronto.
I thought he won with the Cavs.
Or no.
I thought he went Warriors, Cavs, Raptors. He didn't win 3 in a row. Now we're really debating this.
I don't know, man. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
I just thought it was
at the end of the day,
the Nuggets won.
Brown, yeah, he's just a winner. He just finds himself in these spots where he's just winning. But Aaron Gordon, I got to give love to him.
Wow. Yeah.
He really stepped up. I feel like we all were kind of non-believers in Aaron Gordon because you saw the athletic potential with him and the physical traits he possessed, but you never really saw it translate into winning basketball. But when the Nuggets needed him most, because it was, I think I want to say game 4, if I'm not mistaken. It was either game 3 or game 4. I'm pretty sure it was game 4. Jamal Murray, not his best night, but Aaron Gordon stepped up, and that was kind of that deciding game. You know, you're up 2-1, you're on the road again. Miami, they need the win badly to even up the series. You need a big-time game from somebody other than your main 2, especially when one of the main 2 isn't clicking, isn't hitting his shots. Aaron Gordon stepped up, led the team in points that game, I'm pretty sure. What a series from him. MPJ, I know he struggled with the three-pointer, but I thought he played well despite that. I thought he, even if the shots aren't falling, there's ways to impact the game positively, and I felt like he did, especially in the closeout game. He was rebounding the ball well, made some buckets. Denver was deserving. They were. And as much as it pains me to, watch them win because they have so many ex-Pistons that made me go crazy, and that's really why I didn't want them to win, because guys like KCP, Reggie, Bruce Brown, they made my skin crawl, my blood boil. I couldn't stand watching them. That was such a terrible era of Pistons basketball. And, of course, now they're champions. But
no hit to Ish?
No, because Ish Smith was, he's been around. He's been a solid
He's
backup
paid his
point
dues.
Guard. Yeah, he's just been a classic journeyman, bench player, good locker room guy, just all around. Apologies. All around, just a really good guy to root for. The other 3 I can't stand. But I'm proud of Jokic. I'm proud of Jamal Murray. Proud of Denver for getting to this point because I just never saw it coming. And they proved me wrong, and I'm not afraid to admit that I was wrong. Some people will be. But no, I was flat out wrong.
I feel like if he could at least, if he was able to keep half the contract he has, Jokic would have retired on spot.
Yeah.
He's doing it so he can, maintain, taking care of his family. That's at this point in time, I think he doesn't really he's just going to keep doing his thing, right? He's going to try to win. He still cares about his team and he's getting paid, it's his job. but like truly deep down, he's done.
He just doesn't strike me as someone that loves the game. Like, I think he knows he's really good at basketball, like maybe
For
even
whatever
all-time
reason.
great, right? But he's just not really one of those guys that eats, sleeps, breathes basketball. Like, I think there's something a little bit more meaningful in his life than the game, and you can kind of tell by his post-game reaction, just the way that he went about his business. I think
He wants to go home. That's what
yeah,
he
he just
said.
wants to go home. Well, then you got guys like Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon. They're getting wasted. They're having a great time. Like, it means so much more to them. And I think that's probably what fills Jokic up the most, is seeing others around him succeed
Yeah, I agree.
and be happy. Like, I think that's what he cares about more, not so much like us winning. I think he's just happy that, like, yeah, he's obviously happy they won the finals. And
Yeah,
it's
a great achievement to him.
but
Still good.
I think he's more satisfied by those around him succeeding, those around him having that moment, having the shine, and being able to enjoy the stage. It's kind of indicative of how he plays basketball, and then I think you could see it just with the way he acts and his personality. It's beautiful to see. Jokic is a really easy guy to like, and I'm happy for him that he won, because I think for a long time there was that stupid Embiid versus Jokic argument, and this is the ultimate validation point for Jokic.
Especially after Embiid literally
Yeah.
wins the MVP and then gets
Yeah.
bounced.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have agreed with Jokic 3-time MVP back because, I mean, I don't want to defend LeBron here, but there was a very large time in LeBron's career where he could have been the MVP every single year, and he just wasn't winning it because I think everyone got tired of LeBron. Jokic is now kind of proving like, hey, I should have been MVP, but it's fine. I'm going to go win this ring. And
Yeah, Western Conference playoff. He won all the other MVPs you can win.
yeah, I don't think he really cares at the end of the day about his individual success. He just wants the team to win.
Yeah, the
And
peak. He hit the peak.
Yeah,
So.
just unbelievable moment for him, for the Nuggets franchise. Their first championship ever.
That's crazy, too. After the talented teams they've had in the past,
Right. I mean, Iverson, Melo. You go back.
Dikembe
Yeah.
for a moment. Who else was there? I don't know. They've had different guys in and out over the years. They've just never had a legit complete. And never had true complete teams. They've had a lot of talent in and out, but they've never had complete teams.
No, I mean, it's truly a special team. Now, I don't think it's a Warriors dynasty.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. I think they're gonna be dynasty team in the sense of you're talking they should be top 3 seed every year for the next 5 or 6
Right,
years.
they're going to still
They'll
be competitive.
top
and they're going to be
contenders every year.
contending, but in terms of the Warriors, they went to 6 finals. They won 4 of them in we're in 2023. Their reign started in
14 or 15.
I mean, we're talking about 6 title appearances in, let's call it 9 years. I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, at least, it was...
LeBron only went to 12 straight.
right, but still. But that was with different teams. Like, this was one team keeping the
one
same core
dude
together
carried
for over a decade.
Franchises.
Well, everyone flocked to where LeBron was.
Of course.
Or actually, it was the opposite. LeBron flocked to where the people were, right? I mean, he went to join D-Wade and Bosh. Then he went back to Cleveland
tragedy.
to join Kyrie.
And then everyone got butthurt when he decided to leave again. Like, he got you what you wanted. He owes you nothing.
And some people don't even count the Lakers win because it was in the bubble. But
Yeah,
I count it.
if Jimmy Butler would have won. Oh,
Yeah.
Jimmy's iconic, Hall of Famer, no doubts.
No, I
count
that.
So
You know what's crazy too, and I think everyone forgets this. The Lakers, when they were playing the Nuggets in that Western Conference Finals, the Lakers, they were very close to losing that series. Anthony Davis hit the game-winning 3.
I remember that.
If they lose that game, there's a good chance the Nuggets are playing the Heat in that Finals.
And maybe this would be their second run at.
Exactly. So, is there a dynasty in the making? I'm going to say no. I know that's kind of been the hot button topic today. The day after.
They just don't have that factor.
It's just let's just enjoy this. Like if you're a Denver fan, if you're the collective, talking about this, like let's just let them enjoy this win. They're not talking dynasty. Okay.
What a headline.
Yeah, we're not even like they're taking away from Jokic and Murray. Talking about Carmelo. Carmelo's been on the team in what?
10 years?
Like 10 years plus. Yeah, come on.
Probably longer than that.
Come on.
It's just crazy, you know, like, it's the media. It's always funny looking at the media because even now it's like, can't believe the Heat lost, right? That's the storyline.
Look, the Heat, the fact that they beat the Bucks, they beat Giannis, then they go out, New York. I mean, the Knicks were never going to be a title contender, but the Knicks were a really good team.
It was good to see them bounce back. They need some more pieces. Brunson's incredible.
But the Knicks were a really good team, and they have the makings of a team that if they add someone legit, you know, they can go places. And then the Celtics, you know, the team that took Golden State to 6 games last year, easily could have won that series. I think they kind of soiled it away. You know, the Celtics, arguably the best team in the NBA. I think that's what a lot of people thought. Like, it was their time. They couldn't close out the Heat. This was the team that did. The Denver Nuggets closed out the Heat in 5 games.
They swept the Lakers. It's crazy, man. You're talking game 2 of this NBA Finals series was their only home loss since mid-March.
Yeah.
You could have said they literally closed out the season at home with 1 loss in 3 months. It's insane.
They were dominant down the stretch, and that's, you know, the best time to be dominant, like, right? I mean, they were tremendous, and hats off to them. Now we move on to the NBA offseason. We got the draft in 9 days, man, and we are going to be live for that. It's going to be epic. It's going to be exciting.
We may have a returner.
Yes, the Wemby. It's the Wemby draft, right? I mean, every NBA draft
top 2 picks, and after that, it's irrelevant.
Right? I mean, the NBA draft each year is defined by whoever's going 1, typically, or whoever's the best player in that draft. And it's going to be Wemby without a question, right? I mean, he is going to be the star of the draft. The question comes down to who falls behind him.
Who's 2?
And there's reports that the Pelicans are looking to trade up to 2 or 3. A lot of teams, Houston, Detroit, a lot of teams are looking to trade. So I feel like after Wemby is picked, we are going to have such a chaotic draft, such a fun draft. I cannot wait. You guys cannot miss it. It's going to be epic. I think this is going to be one of the more fun drafts, not because of who's selected, but I think there's going to be a ton of movement and a ton of action, which makes it all the more fun.
If the Pelicans moved up to get Scoot, that healthy Pelicans team is dangerous.
Well, you think they got to give up one of BI or Zion, right? I mean,
that.
If you're Charlotte, you're not trading number 2 without getting probably Ingram, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you're trading Zion.
They
if you're
can't.
New Orleans,
It's
even though I
unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
I would keep Brandon Ingram all day, but
it's unfortunate because if you were able to somehow get Scoot, keep this lineup you have and get Scoot, McCollum, Ingram, Zion, and Valanciunas or whatever. Valanciunas, however you want to say it.
Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah. That's a crazy starting 5 when healthy. But you'd end up with no depth though. Because you'd have to give up so much randomness to get that too.
Right.
To be able to keep those 4.
Right. Well, the Pelicans do have a ton of assets. They have Lakers picks. So there's maybe a way in which they keep that. But think about it. They got Trey Murphy III, really promising piece. He's a nice wing player. I mean, there's probably ways in which they could trade up to get 2 or 3 without giving up Zion or Brandon Ingram. But I feel like if you're Portland or if you're Charlotte, you're hanging up the phone call if they're not included. And I think you'd be stupid to accept the trade in which one of them aren't included. Personally, I'd rather have Brandon Ingram. So if they prefer to keep Zion, then I'm sitting there smiling saying, okay, I'll take Ingram, right? I mean, you guys can keep Zion. So I don't know. I mean, ultimately, I think Charlotte, if they added Ingram, they're in a really good spot because they got LaMelo. They should have Miles Bridges back after everything that he did that was so bad, his domestic violence and everything that was going on. But sounds like he's going to come back to Charlotte. So they'll have Miles Bridges back, really promising player. And then Brandon Ingram, I mean, that's a pretty good big 3.
Yeah, and then you still have Terry off the bench, right? And then who's your 5? Because they don't Plumlee, right?
They got Mark Williams from Duke. He didn't play much to start, but
has
he kind
potential,
of
though.
yeah, he has a ton of potential. He kind of caught on late, had some really nice games for them down the stretch. So there's an opportunity there. And then Portland, if they want to build around Dame, bring in Brandon Ingram, do they get Zion? I don't know, but I mean, Portland is another team that's interesting because they have some pieces. They got Shaden Sharp, they got Anthony Simons.
And Simon seems like to be the trade bait right now.
Yes, so they have some young depth pieces, but Dame is getting up there in age, right? He's in his mid-30s now, and at one...
To Miami.
Yeah, right?
That's all
at some point, do you continue to build around Dame and try this again, or do you just say, we're going to finally embrace the rebuild and trade? Because, quite frankly, it feels like Dame has 1 foot out the door, and I would cut my losses and get what I can for him now, because the longer you wait, the cheaper he's going to be.
His heart's in Portland, but his mind's out the door.
He reminds
or do you
me
think
a lot
vice
of,
versa?
No, I think you're right, but he reminds me a lot of Stafford. Stafford didn't want to be the guy that said, I want to leave Detroit. I want to be someplace else, right? He just didn't have the strength, I think,
to be the bad guy.
Yeah, he just didn't want to be painted in a bad picture. He just wanted to be the company guy, like the one that's always going to do right by the ownership. Yeah, literally. He just wanted to be the good face. Like he just wanted to be a baby face, and he never wanted anything negative about him in any way. Like he wanted nothing that people could spin about him. He just kind of wanted to stick to football. And Dame kind of wants to stick to basketball, right? So he's never going to push the agenda like, I want to get out of here. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, what's best for me? And Stafford finally did that. When Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes came in, Stafford, I think, looked at himself in the mirror and said, it's probably best for myself and for the team that I get traded. And it was great for him. He won a ring in L.A., and now the Lions are on the up and up. The same can be said for Portland and Dame, right? If Dame finally says, look, we have the 3rd pick, we're not going anywhere, and there's nothing that we can do this offseason that gets us to where I want to go. I want to win a championship. I can't do it here.
Trade me and help yourselves.
Trade me. I have a ton of value. Trade me now, and let's, it's always going to be love. There's always going to be a ton of respect between us, but at the end of the day, it is a business, and you got to do right by the player and by the team. And Dame is honestly hurting Portland by, not saying, I want to get out.
I think Bradley Beal is doing the same thing.
Well,
in Washington. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I know it's your
I got
Wizards.
news for you.
He's out of there.
I don't have any sources, obviously.
Breaking
I'm not
news.
plugged in, but I'm convinced that the Wizards are blowing it up this offseason. I think Bradley Beal is gone. I think Kuzma's gone. Porzingis is already gone. I think they are blowing it up.
They should.
I think it's going to get
They've been trying to do
up.
patchwork for too long.
There was a moment where it looked like it was going in the right direction because...
And John Wall got hurt.
When they traded John... Well, it was actually when they traded John Wall for Russ, and then they traded Russ.
Really?
They had they basically cleared the deck. And then they traded for Porzingis. And then I was like, okay, well, it's not a great move.
Not great.
Not a great move.
Like,
and then you saw the team last year. They were just dreadful.
You need Marcin
No
Gortat
defense.
back.
No, we do not need the Polish Hammer back. So, at the end of the day, for the Wizards, they're going to blow it up. And they just got this new president, Michael Winger. I don't...
He left the Clippers, right?
Yes, yep. He was the former Clippers GM. Now he's the president of Monument Sports, which owns basically everything DC in terms of basketball. Wizards, Mystics, and the Go-Go. So he is going to be calling the shots, and he basically said, I have full authority to do whatever I want, which I think means he's going to reset the deck, probably try to tank this season, and then go from there. But I do think Beal's out. I think
it's more that he's dumping Beal, but he knows Kuzma's going to walk.
Right. But, they're going to get involved in any trade they can. If it's a sign-and trade, whatever the case may be, I think they're going to be aggressive. And a team that's looking to acquire salary for this season, try to acquire assets. I think a lot of what the Thunder did, right? Getting multiple picks, getting a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's, I think, what the Wizards are going to do. That's just my,
We're waiting
my
to see the
sense,
fruits of
but-
the labor, though, for the Thunder, though.
Right.
We'll see this upcoming season if they can get another guy in there. You got Poku, you got Chet, you got Giddey, you got Shea. I mean, it's a young team and they play hard, right? They'll
Jalen
play to the
Williams,
end.
They got guys, man. They are so young, and they were right there.
Who's the
right
better
there.
young team, the Thunder or the Magic?
Give me the Thunder. I think the Magic.
Shea just puts them over.
I think the Magic have
Potential.
the pieces, but
There's a lot of talk.
they're lacking. They're lacking something for me.
Veteran.
That, but I mean, the Thunder didn't have a veteran really, and they balled out. Like, I think the Magic are getting there. It's just going to take a little time, but they're probably a piece or two away, I think, from really competing in the East in terms of for a playoff spot.
I mean, they might trade
The Thunder-
Isaac, Cole, Suggs.
I don't know, man. The Thunder have a real shot. Like, if Chet is what we think he could be, that team is going to be scary.
You just need one other piece.
I mean, they have the assets to do it. And
Paul George back
with the
to
draft
OKC.
in 9 days, I mean, we might see it. We might see, we could see the Thunder make aggressive play. Who knows? Because I really do think this is going to be one of the craziest drafts that we've seen in a long time. When there's so much unknown outside of Wemby, and then I guess Brandon Miller and Scoot, like, that usually leads to chaos, and I think that's what we're going to get.
Lots of drama.
It's going to be exciting. Let's talk about, I don't really want to talk about the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's talk about the U.S. Open. Because it's being played at Los Angeles Country Club. I don't know if you've seen... I don't know if you've seen the videos of the roughs and
Yes,
the
I
slopes
have.
of the greens. It is nuts. This course looks so challenging, so difficult. And the U.S. Open typically is the hardest major to win. It is a gauntlet. So you got to look at guys, in my opinion, that have either won the U.S. Open or that are capable of lasting through the gauntlet. And it's no surprise that we see Scottie Scheffler, John Rahm, and Brooks Koepka at the top here. Guys that I'm not betting on this weekend, Rory McIlroy. Just haven't seen it this year. Just the consistency has not been there for Rory. I'm out on Patrick Cantlay.
He's been playing right.
I just, I'm just out on him, all right? Victor Hovland, I don't love taking someone that just won. So
agree.
I'm going to pass on Hovland. My guy this weekend is going to be Jordan Spieth. And I know it's a name. I know it's hot, right? I mean, it's Spieth.
I
Everyone
don't know
loves
if
Spieth.
it's hot.
I
don't know
he's
if it's
at
hot
plus
right now.
2,400.
He's been playing really not well. You're like, that means he's due.
He's due, man. He's due. I think Spieth has played good enough golf in the big moments this year. I liked what I saw from him at the Masters. I liked what I saw from him at the PGA. I think Jordan Spieth plus 2,400, and I'm not plugging FanDuel, but they do have a promo right now.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. So this is just me saying, look, guys, major winner insurance, bonus bet back if your golfer finishes top 20. I'm pretty confident that Spieth can finish top 20 if he doesn't win this. So I'm going to take Jordan Spieth to win, plus 2,400. That is roughly the same as the UConn bet. So it feels like this is my number. So I'm going to go Jordan Spieth to win it all. I think he's got a really good chance. There's no value with Scotty, and there's no value with John Rahm or Brooks Koepka.
Mm-hmm.
You do get some value, right? It's plus
They're expecting
700,
them to be
plus 1100.
sitting at top 5, just chilling.
Right. So I'm
They
going to
may
go with
not.
Jordan Spieth here. He's
teeing. He's got a good group, honestly, for him. He's playing late tee off, 4:43 p.m. to kick off the week. playing with Tony Finau and Patrick Cantlay.
Is that LA time or is that Eastern time?
I think it's probably Eastern time.
Okay.
So they're probably 1:30. Yeah, almost 2 o'clock. Let's see what's the latest. 5:30. So yeah, probably 2. Yeah, it'd be 2:30. About was the last tee time.
But you can just tell the difference the U.S. Open has in
On
terms
players.
of betting because these numbers. I mean, Jordan Spieth is like technically seventh best odds right now, and he's at plus 2,400. Guys at plus 2,400, like it feels like you had to go a little bit further back for the Masters or for the PGA. This is the toughest to win. The U.S. Open always picks the most difficult and most challenging courses. They do that intentionally, and LA Country Club is no different. I think Jordan Spieth has the makeup for it, and I want to see him win one. I want to root for Jordan Spieth, and if he doesn't win, I think he's got a good chance of finishing top 20. So
if Rory won this thing, it'd be hilarious because he would either say nothing or he would just start cooking everybody.
It is interesting after the PGA and the LIV merger. You know, it's such a weird predicament.
It's a weird predicament, like on the relationship side, on the PGA side. Actually, it's all on the PGA side, relationship wise and money wise, because guys who are loyal and didn't walk away from what they wanted better be getting. They deserve their money for staying loyal.
Right.
And there is discussions of that. They get like a loyalty, like I forget what they were talking about, but they're going to get their money. So. That's
yeah,
good
but
to
it's
see.
not going to be.
It's not going to be that
the
kind
money that the LIV guys got.
Yeah,
and I think that's where a lot of the PGA guys, probably the lower ranked guys, right? The guys that said, "Look, I'm not that high up on the tour right now. I want to work my way up. I don't want to take the LIV money because I think I can make more money on the tour in the long run." Well, guess what? If you took the LIV money, you're basically now still in the same position you were a year ago or 2 years ago, and now you're, you
got way more money.
You got way more money, and now you're back up trying to rise up in the PGA Tour. Like, it's one of those things where it's just so hypocritical of Jay Monahan and the PGA. Like, it sucks, honestly, because...
statement, I know everyone's going to call me a hypocrite.
Right.
Like, no, really?
It's just ridiculous, and, Saudi Arabia is making their input known, or making their a large imprint on a lot of sports. Soccer, golf.
They've
now.
entered the MLS now. Too,
MLS,
with the new San Diego team that's coming to play.
Yep, and it's just going to continue. I mean, it won't be long before the MLS is in one of the 4 major sports in America, and at that point, you're just going to have to kind of be like, well, okay. Now the good thing is, with the current sports that we do have, except for baseball, which I think could get really scary, there's a salary cap. There's luxury tax. There are limitations on how much a team can spend, but at the same time, I don't think they care. Like, I think they're just going to keep spending and spending and spending. I mean, you're seeing it with Manchester City. You're seeing it with a lot of other clubs that are owned by Saudi Arabia-backed
United might be leaning in that
investors
now.
Exactly. So it's just going to be, how far does this go? Like, that's just kind of where I'm at. Like, how far of an influence will the merger now have on the golf that we have grown to love? Because if the PGA Tour doesn't look like the PGA Tour, a lot of people are just going to bounce off of it. Like, I think a good portion of the fan base likes it how it is. They want their golf as it's supposed to be played, or how
earning your spot.
Played.
That's the whole point of the thing.
And if they don't get that, if it's just something foreign to them, they're going to be turned off by the product. And that's going to hurt more so than anything else. Because the PGA is known to be this league, like you said. You earn your spot. I mean, they don't pay the golfers. Like, the companies, the sponsors, they fund the purses, and then whoever wins it, gets the largest sum of money, and then it goes on from there. If that goes away, you're going to see, at least in my opinion, like, I think they're going to have to reshape all the rules and how the golfers, the tour cards and everything. I think it's all going to be, thrown out. If they got to do all that and they got to completely change the rules, it's just not going to be the same product. It's just not. And that's a real shame. Now, hopefully they can get, it all figured out and still make it appealing to the audience and to the general fan. But it's concerning. It is.
Greg Norman. Had it come and ruin golf.
I don't know, man. It's... I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it's not going to be terrible like the product that we see on TV, because I really don't like the idea of this team play.
No, that's not what golf is.
No, I agree. Like
golf
has not been this
sport.
Team play where I mean, sure, maybe you do one tournament like that, maybe one or two a year.
Yeah, like
right?
how they have the mini, they do have doubles in tennis every once in a while, but it's normally individual.
But the Ryder Cup is team play, and I think people enjoy that because it's USA versus Europe.
Yeah, and
it's like this
different.
Yeah, it's a different style format. It's a different your expectation is different. But when tour events start becoming these team tournaments, I think that's where people are gonna be like, wait, what am I watching? Like, this is not
watching the weird, like they're gonna have weird team names.
right. And what if they make a major a team event? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me
if they made people would riot if they made the Masters a team event.
How much influence does the Saudi PIF or Public Investment Fund?
Yeah,
like how much influence are they going to have on this? Because if they did that, right? If they made a major a team event, like no one is going to watch that. No one would care if like Team Rory won. Like, okay, cool. Like.
And the worst part is it's not going to be like that. It wouldn't be Team Rory. It'd be some like weird name.
Yeah, like the.
I know.
The
I was trying
bottle
to
caps.
exactly.
Like that.
Exactly.
Like,
the Bobcats versus the Sharks today, guys, out on the course. Like, what is that?
No, it's ridiculous. So
this isn't.
I mean,
this isn't AYSO.
It's just thought provoking. Like, what extent is the PIF? Is this new merger going to have on the golf that we have grown to appreciate? That's my overarching question for you and for the audience, because I think it's one that's yet to be answered, and it won't be answered for a minute until this merger is official and finalized, and we actually see it into fruition. But yeah, it was a shocking news dump, and it's got me concerned about golf. But for now, we still have the U.S. Open as we know it, and I like Jordan Spieth. Who do you like this weekend?
20 minutes later. I think it's before I make my statement. It's funny that they did it for the jokes. They paired Rory and Brooks together. I mean, come on. It's Rory, Brooks, and Hideki, and Hideki's gonna be like, I ain't part of this, man.
Well, one of the two are going to struggle, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Brooks
Hopefully
is the
Brooks.
third. He's got the third best odds to win it, and Rory has the fourth. So one of them is going to be... one of them has to miss the cut, right? Like, if they're paired together, one of them's got to miss the cut. One of them's going to piss the other off.
It'd be awesome to see Victor finally win it. I agree. I think it'd be good to see Spieth win it.
We'll love it. We'll love it.
Guys I'd like to look at. Colin Morikawa.
Plus 3,600.
Man, he's been having it up and down like Spieth, but there's a lot of opportunity out there for him. This is a Max Homa kind of vibe, kind of course.
Plus 2,900.
People love that, man. We can't count out a back-to-back by Matt Fitzpatrick.
Matt Fitzpatrick is plus 3,100.
Exactly. High odds, but high chances.
Well, when you win it last year, right?
It's a tough back-to-back feat, though. It's like the Masters.
Is.
It's like it was tough for Scotty to win that back-to-back.
But when you win it all once, there's a good shot that you can win it again, because it is typically the toughest one to win. And so if you can do it, right, then there's no doubt in my mind that Fitzpatrick couldn't do it again. He could easily do this.
I'm really thinking. It's because in the back of my mind, I always think about my boy Xander Schauffele. I think he's probably got far odds in this one. What's he got? 30
Plus
something.
1,900.
Really?
Sixth best odds. Or, no, I'm sorry, seventh best odds.
Interesting.
Spieth is
You're
eighth
going with
best odds.
Spieth. I think I'm going to go with Max Homa on this one.
All right. Max Homa is plus 2,900, ninth best odds to win it all. Good pick. Me and you are both riding with guys that I think fan favorites, I'd say.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
But
People
just a
love
lot of love
Spieth.
thrown towards them. And, I think they're both due. Spieth maybe more so than Homa, because I think
agree.
Homa's still kind of, fresh onto the scene, still, young on the tour. Got a lot of time to get his, but I think Spieth is due for a major. It's just been too long. I love when Spieth wins a major, because usually it's exciting, it's fun, and he's always mad at himself, so it's just great. It's just great entertaining golf. Like when he's in the mix on Sunday, like you're going to get some sound bites. Like, I just want to see that version of Spieth. So I'm hopeful for Spieth, and I like Max Homa.
I'm looking at all these upcoming schedules, all these previous winners we got. Next week it will be the Travelers. Xander won that boy. Rocket Mortgage Classic here in Detroit. Tony Finau got that in the match after that. Xander won again the Scottish Open. I can't wait to see the Open this year. We're at Liverpool Golf Course. My man. Finau, again. That's where Homa won last year. Fortinet
The
Championship.
FedEx St. Jude Championship, Will Zalatoris, miss him dearly. Hopeful that he'll be back full strength next tour season.
Yes. This will be interesting to see. Keegan Bradley, Russell Henley, Seamus, the Bermuda one. So Victor won back in... Oh, that was last December, I believe.
Yes.
Beforehand.
Yep, so now we are...
Wow, that's crazy. Is this the most recent year? Let's see.
I think so.
Yeah, because Rahm was on a tear. So Homa did win in January, the Farmers Insurance Open.
And that was in Cali, but definitely not the same. Torrey Pines is not the same as LACC.
And then you got Scotty, who won the Phoenix Open, the Players. It's just insane. Matt Fitzpatrick who won the Heritage back in April. You never know what's next, man. Also, shout out to Nick Taylor for the crazy putt this past weekend.
That was awesome.
Tommy, you'll get there, man. You'll get there.
No, I think Spieth's got a good shot, and I do like Homa. I think those are two good picks.
I like it too. I think I'd be happy to see either of those guys win. I like Spieth too. After watching him and really take it on, it was crazy seeing him hit that shot when they played when the last Ryder Cup, when he was hanging off the edge of that cliff. I remember watching that live. I'm like, what a freaking shot. That'll also be exciting. And the Ryder Cup just back like that in the fall coming hot. They will be in Italy, I believe. Now it's back in Europe. We'll see. I think it's in Italy, but it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic breaks down. It'll be interesting to see what guys come back and actually play this time around, because there was all that beef beforehand. The big thing was the Brooks and DeChambeau beef, but that was kind of settled during that time, and the USA came out on top. And I think they can definitely do it again. The way they were playing, I mean, the European, all the, you could say, world players or European players are really legit, but they're not taking over golf just yet.
No.
Not like the NBA.
No.
Not like the NBA.
No.
Europe isn't taking over yet, but we'll see what happens, because, I mean,
yes.
you got, Cam Smith's great, John Rahm's great, Hovland, great. There's just Matt Fitzpatrick, great. There's so many guys, but not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not team-wise. Individuals, they have a chance, but not team-wise. I don't know, man. Vegas is winning tonight. That's all I got to say. That's all I got left.
I mean, Matthew Tkachuk is he's out for Game 5.
And that kills everything.
Panthers leader in goals and points in the playoffs. No Tkachuk, you kind of lose that toughness, that edge, that physicality. It's over. It's over for the Panthers. Congrats to Vegas. They feel so undeserving.
Fourth season, second time in the Cup. and they're gonna win it.
It feels so.
Wow.
It feels so undeserving. It really does.
It feels undeserving. They've played really well.
Yeah, but they come into the league first season. They're in the Stanley Cup Finals. They lose to the Capitals. Fast forward 4 years from now, or 4 years later, they're back in it. They're on the precipice of winning. It's just kind of annoying. Like, I'm sorry, but as a Red Wings fan, we've been in the gutter for the better part of a decade, and we're watching Vegas go to the finals twice in a 5-year span, 6-year span, whatever it is. It's just annoying. And the Kraken were great this year, too.
I know, only second year in the league, and you could have argued they could have been in the Cup, too.
I'd like to be an expansion team. You're automatically a good team.
Yeah, because you get to... That's the difference. I know that's upsetting, but it's also the difference, because you can just go pick from the crop.
Exactly. Like, sure, you don't get all the studs, but you can only protect so many players.
And you also can send a nice paycheck someone's way and be like, come with us. And they can be like, all right, let's roll. You never know. Never know. Marshawn Lynch just makes things different. Seattle. Go Kraken. He's a partial owner.
It's over for the Panthers. I'm sorry, South Florida. I'm sorry.
I told you, South Florida. I told you. No championships. You had 2 teams ready to roll. Both teams out in 5.
I'm sorry.
Here's my 5 to you. High five. Bang.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel like I cursed them.
Hey, you took it down. Hey, maybe Drew.
I got them there.
Maybe Drew picked them both on the side, and that was what took you down.
I got him there. I willed Miami to this spot. It's on them to close it out, and they let me down. They let me down. Denver's going to win it all, or Denver won it all, and Vegas is going to win it all. It's just the way it is.
There's only 2 teams I didn't want to see win the Cup, and they played each other, Toronto and Florida. And they're both not going to win the Cup, so life's good. Life's good.
I don't know where this Panthers hate comes from.
They're
They're like such a likable team.
I don't vibe with them. Something about them. Maybe it's Brooks Koepka's problem is my problem.
Blake? Blake's keeping you down.
He's
on the
a big
Panthers?
fan. He's probably like, oh no, I gotta be trading for the U.S. Actually, no, forget that. He ain't at the U.S. Open yet. He's probably going to the Panthers game tonight in Vegas.
You better.
It's not that far. He's probably there in Vegas.
Yeah, I would be.
Little jumper, little quick flight, probably like 45 minutes back to L.A. after tonight.
It's not a big deal. I mean, he'll get out of there.
He'll be sad. He'll go get angry. He'll go fight Rory, win the U.S. Open. He'll be like, well, at least I won something again.
I mean, he probably practiced today and then just kind of.
He doesn't need to practice.
I mean,
that's the unfortunate
thing. The way he's been
thing.
playing, he probably doesn't. But
he's just good. He even talks about that. He's like, practice is boring. He's like, I'll practice when I feel like it. He literally talks about that. He does that in the interview with Big Cat and PFT on PMT.
Going to the range is boring. I mean,
that's why you got to make it. John Rahm says you got to make it fun.
I don't know how you make it fun.
I don't know. He does certain things. He also has one leg shorter than the other, but that was a medical thing. But
hey, that's why Rahm is on the tour and a Masters winner, and I'm not.
Maybe one day.
No.
Hey, you know what we could have? The STJ Invitational.
Hey, that'd be electric if we could get that going.
Get the guys out like one outing one Saturday. Be like, all right, everyone, keep your scores. Here's your trophy. You got like 16 cards. You'd have to do like like 3 foursome tee times in a row.
Yeah. Or we get plugged.
Or yeah, just throughout the day.
Yeah, we get to buy out the course for the day.
That'd be cool. Or you just set up an actual outing.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe there's something we work on next summer.
It's it's going to be in the little thought box, the idea box
in the back.
Yeah,
the back of the mind.
Definitely.
All right. Anyway, congrats Nuggets, I guess.
Yeah, congrats Nikola Jokic. Congrats Denver.
Go Knights, and go Homa.
Well, I guess go Panthers, even though they're done. And then go Spieth. I think Spieth's got in the bag. I think it's guaranteed Jordan Spieth. It's his time. It's his time to get back on the mountaintop.
I'm happy. I'll take either guy winning it. I'm happy with either one.
If Homa won it, I'd be thrilled. I'd be thrilled for you.
I think as long as Brooks doesn't win another one, I'm happy.
Oof,
I think for the game of golf, as long as Brooks doesn't win, we're fine.
Well, he's up to 5.
DeChambeau though claimed close a couple weeks ago, and that would have been bad too. One of them two winning, I feel like is just a problem gonna cause.
It's not what you want to see.
No.
You don't. I mean, I don't mind Brooks winning. Honestly, he's like the one live guy that I'm like okay with seeing win. But Bryson at this point, I'm kind of out on Bryson, and most of the other live guys, I'm just like, all right,
Whatever
like,
now.
Hit the road, Jack.
All right, we're closing it out. I don't know when we'll be back.
No, I know when we'll be back.
Next
the NBA
week?
draft.
Oh yeah, so we'll be back next
June
week.
22nd.
Next
live.
Thursday.
Yes, next Thursday. So probably
we will
a
be
week
back
from
back to
now.
back weeks. Back to back weeks, you'll see us. That means
Yes.
it'll be us. We'll be live.
NBA draft will be crazy. I cannot wait.
We'll see how it goes.
Cannot wait.
Anyways, we'll catch you next week in the next one. Peace.